Om Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva, Arunachal Shiva. Om Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padpadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukhat Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्त देहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Welcome all. In previous session we talked about desuperimposition and saw how individual soul by the process of Shravan Manan Nididhyasana, that is listening to the truth, cogitating on it, and finally continuously deep contemplation on it, can realize his or her real nature, that is infinite pure consciousness bliss. Apart from this process of Vedantic Shravana Manan Nididhyasana, there are various yoga paths described by Sanatan Dharma, that is Hinduism, to suit the various faculties of human personality. A human being is endowed with psychological, intellectual, emotional and physical capacities to harness all these things for the realization of the self. Swami Vivekananda famously has categorized the yoga paths into 4 major yogas. By intellectual faculty, Jnana Yoga is defined to reach to the real self. By emotional faculty, by developing the devotion, Bhakti Yoga is designed to reach the goal. Similarly, by concentration of mind, that is the psychic powers of mind, Raja Yoga takes one to the goal. Finally, the ability to work selflessly for others, Karma Yoga, takes one by the path of Karma Yoga to the goal. Let us see briefly how these paths and their characteristics. Karma Yoga naturally appeals to human being because of his nature to remain active. But it is not that easy, because here work has to be performed not for any selfish motive, but with selfless devotion and not expecting any results. In fact, the perfect Karma Yoga is possible only for the God-realized or self-realized soul. But nonetheless, whatever duties that one is going through the life, if one dedicates those to the God, purification of mind will happen and one may reach the highest goal. Bhakti Yoga appears natural to a human mind because there is no violent uprooting of all attachments and association and relationships. It's a slow and gradual path, but still renunciation of sensual pleasures and selfishness is paramount importance here too. Jnana Yoga appears to be a bit radical because it wants to eradicate everything in one go, get out of all emotions, your vasanas, desires, attachment, relationships, and directly establish one into the ultimate reality. That's why it is very steep, and though it is easy to talk, very few people are actually endowed to take this in life and succeed. The most scientific and methodical path is Raja Yoga, where one does not require any belief in any god or any philosophy. It is to deal with your mind and body and your prana and systematically follow the disciplines to reach the ultimate. But in this too, tremendous discipline is required, and in its higher aspects, a guru is required to guide. Then we have something like, there are other paths which are in traditional Hinduism. They are related to the Agam Shastras, and Kundalini is explained as a power of the self which resides at the base of the spine. This Kundalini can be aroused by various ways, but repetition of God's name and self-inquiries are also the means to awaken the Kundalini. Sri Ramakrishna beautifully explains his experiences when this Kundalini awakens and passes through different chakras to reach the highest Sahasrara chakra. So all through these paths, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga, or even the other means, the individual self is supposed to realize its true nature, that is infinite pure consciousness bliss. One more point here regarding these different paths is that for many centuries in India there was a discord between various opinions about the ultimate reality and its connection with the individual soul and the world, especially dualism, qualified non-dualism and non-dualism. That is, the dualist Dvaiti says that individual soul is eternally separate from the Creator, than the Supreme God. Vishishta Dvaiti or qualified non-dualists say that the individual soul is a part of cosmic self, that is God. Only it contracts and expands and finally goes very near to the Supreme Soul. While the Advaita, non-dualistic system says that the individual soul is nothing but the absolute self, only apparently conditioned by the body-mind complex. In modern times, Swami Vivekananda and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and Ma Sarda have very clearly said that these systems should not be in conflict with each other. These are the natural steps in the growth of a spiritual aspirant. Spiritual aspirant initially naturally feels that he is separate from the omnipotent God. So the duality is there. As he proceeds on the path, he starts getting the glimpse that he is not separate, he is a part and parcel of the Supreme Reality. That is Vishishta Dvaita. And finally he realizes that he is in essence that Supreme Reality, that is Advaita. Irrespective of whichever path is followed, the natural course of evolution of the human psyche is such that initially it is very sense-bound, body-bound, and it is indulgent to sensual pleasures. As it goes through the duties of life, refinement follows, and further refinement leads the psyche to selfless work and Karma Yoga, which develops the spiritual discrimination, Vivek and Vairagya, that is dispassion or the detachment from the body-mind complex. And in the last stages, devotion and realization of God in one of its forms or formless, attribute-filled form, and ultimately the complete merging of the individual into the absolute. So whatever path an aspirant may take to reach the goal, Hinduism or true spirituality or Sanatan Dharma requires only one criteria, and that is sincerity and intense yearning to realize the divine. That is in brief about the various paths to reach the goal. In next session we will see Jivan Mukta, that is liberated in life, one who is reached the goal but whose body is still active. Till then, Om Tat Sat.